welcome to the 12th episode of Adam's Advice. We often tell ourselves stories about what we can do, what we can't do, what we're good at and what we're bad at, what we like and what we dislike. And oftentimes these stories can be reinforcing in a good way, but if you start to believe in them too much, they can become a disadvantage for you. So let me tell you about 3 of the players that I've worked with. First, there was this guy who always used to lose the first couple of games of a match. He noticed it himself, of course, his parents noticed it, and his fellow players noticed it as well. And over time he developed the story that he was a slow starter. And when I talked to him about this after matches, in practices, he started to hide behind the story that, well, I can't do anything because I'm a slow starter. Second story. Worked with this girl who was incredibly good when she was playing from behind, but whenever she got close to winning a set or closing out a match, it was very difficult for her. And over time she started to believe that she was not able to close out a set or not able to close out a match. And it became more and more clearly whenever she had put herself in a position to win even games at some points, she started to listening to that story going on in her head. Third story. Worked with a guy at some point who had an incredibly good serve, and it actually was a really, really good serve. A lot of coaches complimented it. The other players said to him, "Wow, it's an unbelievable serve." And it really was. But what happened for this guy was that he was not willing to work on his ground strokes in practice anymore because he was so confident in his serve. And he just said, "Well, I don't really need to work on my ground strokes. Have you seen my serve?" So in all of these 3 cases, the players have started to believe too much in the stories that they're telling themselves, and they've become rigid. So when you start believing that the stories you tell about yourself is equal to reality, then you're in danger. And it's not really about whether the stories are positive or negative. And you shouldn't try to either get rid of the stories or try to change them from negative to positive. It's about changing your relationship with the stories. And sometimes just see the stories for the words they are. And know that if you do not act on the stories you tell yourself, they cannot harm you. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about the human nature of our brain. See you tomorrow.